What up, guys? Sorry, I'm talking with a little bit of a low voice, and yeah, welcome back to my channel, and welcome if you are new here. And this video is actually completely improvised because, as you can see by the title, we're gonna talk about some okay. Rewind. Pause the video and rewind it to like 1 hour ago. 1 hour ago, approximately, a YouTuber that I follow made a video about confessions, about sexuality, our orientation or our sex life. It's our sexuality. And this YouTuber made a book. Today she made the announce. It's Shanti Leaves. It's a Swiss YouTuber. She's the sweetest girl. I love her. And basically today she said that she wrote a book in which she put together a lot of confessions from the bedroom, a lot of things that they stay in our minds and we don't speak about because we feel uncomfortable about these things, or simply for whatever reason we don't want to talk about them. And she also, at the end of the video, she said, comment below your confession, like let's do a therapy session in the comments. Let's like figuratively gather around in circle and everyone makes a confession. And I made my confession, and then I was like, let's make a video about it because I really need to voice this out. Basically, I don't know if it's me who has the problem or there is actually a problem, but the point is that I feel that there is actually a problem, even though let's just go point by point. Okay, my confession is that I felt disrespected in intimacy a lot of times. I um I don't have much experience in the bedroom. I lost my V card at 21 and I am 22. I didn't have much I didn't have many sexual experiences yet, but a lot of them, if not all of them, they all have this thing in common, that at some point I felt disrespected, and it feels heavy for me to say it because I don't wanna people to come at me. I don't want my former partners or my almost partners to come at me, but this is the tea, this is the truth. By feeling disrespected, I mean that when let's just jump into the stories, the true experiences. Um, my first time, I basically went to this dude's house, and at a certain point, I went there with the idea of doing certain things. Like I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this, but I don't want to go too in depth because Susan, and I also don't want to be too explicit because even like I want to be this video watchable also for a younger audience, not too young, but for a younger audience, because I want to speak to I want to say to young people, please don't do these things. So coming back to the story, I came to his house thinking, okay, I'm gonna do this, not mentioning what. Then it came to the moment where he was like, okay, let's do this. And I was like, I'm not ready yet. Like, don't worry, I am gonna do this today, but I need some prep. I need like, can you do this other thing for me before we get down to this business, because I don't feel comfortable like doing this right now, like just 5 minutes of something else, so I get a little more, like, a little more comfortable with the situation and everything. And he was like, before you say no to another thing, so sex is about compromise, so you said no to one thing, now you gotta say yes. And so I did it. And to be honest, it it took me a lot of time. Like, this was last year, more than a year and a half, a year and a half, a year and a half ish ago. It took a lot of time to me to acknowledge that these things made me uncomfortable. At the moment, I didn't think about it, but I I actually felt kind of uncomfortable, but still went with it. And so yeah, that was one of these moments. Another moment of this came this year, when before quarantine I had sex with a dude. And basically it was, actually it was amazing, like amazing. Okay, I also have to mention that I, for problems that I'm not gonna dive um into deep right now, I've had some really nagging psychological shit going on. Like, I felt detached during sex. It was a whole mess. This is a whole other mess that we're not gonna dive into today, but I had some detachment things going on. It felt really bad. So yeah, this is one of another reason, like the reason why my sexual experiences have been because of detachment. But if you take out the detachment, I'd give my first time a 5.5 out of 10, and my second time a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10 because A, the detachment, B, when I asked him to slow down or to take a break, sometimes he ignored me, and sometimes he was like, no, no, let's keep going, let's keep going. I was like, yeah, okay, because I can say no. I can say no to people in bed and out of bed. And if you gain my trust, then be sure that you can walk all over me and I won't say nothing. This is a huge problem of mine. So yeah, I sucked it up, pun intended. When he was like, no, let's keep going, or he was ignoring me. Like, on, like, in his defense, like, sometimes he listened to me, um and he gave me the break and he slowed down, but some other times he didn't do it. And I know it seems that I'm nitpicking. Maybe I am. If I am, be free to call me out. But I didn't like it. I just didn't like it. And it's not just something about the things they didn't do or the things they said. It's it's a vibe. Like, lack of respect. It's a straight up vibe. It's something that you feel in the gut. Like, it's in the way they look at you. The way they looked at me, I felt uncomfortable. Like, I felt they were looking at me in a predatory way, like in a some even like evil way. Maybe this is normal for straight men, for men, because maybe it's something like coming back from, I don't know, ancestral things, like animal instincts waking up. Maybe it's normal, but I didn't feel like I didn't like it. And again, I don't want to throw shit at these people, but I because I also, like, some time, in some moments I also felt the opposite. I felt some kind of nurturing energy, some kind of they weren't like my boyfriends, but I felt some kind of loving energy, like, not love, you know what I mean, like the opposite of predatory, like a nurturing energy. And I was more than okay with that. But that predatory feel, like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I like when, like, I am kind of the submissive type, so I like when a boy, he's like, oh yeah, my little baby. Oh my god, that was so cringe. I like when a boy gets a little dominant, but dominant and predatory are two different things. Like, I like when you're dominant, but when you're like, you look at me in a dominant but evil kind of way, I didn't like that at all. I didn't like that at all. And then finally, like the final experience that I need to share is something like a little more subtle, because I didn't have sex with this third guy, but we talked about it a lot. Because basically this is one of those, uh, they came back from the grave. Like, this was a person that I didn't contact in forever. Then I contacted him, and we basically ended up into sexual territory immediately. And he was the one who took it there. And basically I told him about the problem that I mentioned before. Like, I have these psychological problems, I feel detached, it sucks a lot, so I'm not sure if I want to do this with you, because sex is kind of becoming not that enjoyable for me. Like, it's like, I don't know if I want to do this. And yeah, you can tell a lot of a person when they are confronted to something like this. Like, the second guy that I mentioned, he actually handled this thing beautifully, and he was like, I'm not gonna force you into anything, I'm gonna wait for you to do whatever. If you don't want to, it's okay. If you want to, then let's do this. And he was like really respectful in this instance. And but this other guy, this third guy, he was like he literally said, it's just sex, like, what's the problem, what's the thing, like, a little sex fix everything. Like, what? A little sex fixes everything? Like, what? I was like speechless. I was like, yeah, but I told you I have a problem, it's not cute. And he was like, a little sex fixes everything. um I should have ended the thing right there and then, but no, since I can say no to people, I just keep going. And so yeah, as you can see, the problem is also mine, not only yours. And yeah, I kept going. And actually this guy showed a little bit more of comprehension when I told him that maybe part of my problem was the fact that the first time I was naked in front of a bunch of people, it was when I had my surgeries. I when yeah, my second surgery, yeah, I was completely naked for the first time in front of people, and it felt you don't want the first time to be naked in front of someone to be like this, you don't want to. But yeah, uh, it was for not for a good time, but for people to insert wire into your body. Whatever, that's a story that I'm gonna tell you, like the story of my surgeries. But okay. And since he wants to become a doctor, he was like, okay, now I can comprehend a little better, because, the light on your face and my first sexual experience, I remember, oh my god, that was so bad. I'm gonna briefly tell you this. Like, my first sexual experience, like, the room was dark and there was a light coming from the outside, and I flashed back to the room where they did the surgery, and I had the light on my face. Oh god, that was terrifying. Well, not like terrifying, but it was, like like sadness, pain, detachment, anything in between. And so when I told him this, he was like, okay, I don't understand a little better. But then he had the audacity of telling me of doing this, and of telling me that, like, this happens months later, because he kept going. He actually, I don't want to tell you the whole story is really long, but he basically I said no to him in the end, and then he was like, okay, like whatever you want, if you change your mind. If you change your mind, like no means later apparently, but maybe again it's maybe my fault because I was like I can change my mind in another moment, and so I kind of every month he kept asking me, oh, did you change your mind? And I was like, no, not yet, no, no, did you change your mind? And then next month and next month, and it was like 5 months later he comes out with, okay, so I've met this person and she's bomb, she's really special, and also seems that she's a freak in the bedroom, and I feel really, really intimidated, and also because I think that I didn't treat girls really well in the bedroom before, I'm quoting, and I was like, can we have sex so that I can use you as a warm-up, as a way to prep for this person. And since like I said, I let people walk all over me, I gave him the benefit of the doubt, and I sent him a huge paragraph of advice on sex. And I was like, I'm not here to be your teacher in like a practical way, but I can be a teacher in theory. And so I gave him the entire everything that I could tell him to, have a good time with this person in the bedroom. Like, I'm not, like I said, I don't have a huge experience, but I think I'm still entitled to have an opinion. And also, I really do my research a lot. um I watch explanations, I watch content about the sexuality. I am like, I try to be as prepared as possible. And he thanked me, and then for like 2-ish more months he kept going with the like he kind of kept going in an explicit way, and then he kind of was implicit, like he was simply wanting to talk, but the only thought of texting him gave me extreme anxiety. And I mean, I don't think that anxiety had no reason to exist. I think it had a reason to exist. And then I told the story to my friends, and like, again, when you tell people stuff, this, like, their reaction says a lot about them and a lot about the situation you tell them about. Some of my friends, like, I told this story to my friends when like he wanted to have sex with me to prep for this other person, and they were like, he wanted to use you, he wanted to literally use you. And I can't, I don't have proof that he was lying, and I'm not gonna tell you the whole story because it's huge, but I kid you not, there were red flags everywhere. There were red flags everywhere. And I am like, my gut tells me that he lied to me and that he wanted to use this as an excuse to have sex with me. And so yeah, he wanted to straight up use me, and also for no reason, because I don't really think there was a special girl to begin with. Then I told another friend of mine, and she was like, oh my god, this is a genius idea, like to have sex with someone else, to prep for someone else entirely. And I was like, mm. I really want to say something to you, but I can't because I'm a non-confrontational piece of I was like, no, that is not okay. Like, in theory, it's okay, but come on, like, there are red flags everywhere. I know he was lying. This is not okay. Like, how can you think it's okay? Like, you are literally using another human being, also without no apparent reason, because you're lying. And so yeah, this is not like a bedroom thing. And also, I never physically met the dude in all these months, like last time I saw him was 3 years ago. All of this happened on text, but still it gave me the same feeling when during my first time I was tricked into doing something that I didn't want to do yet. And when during my second time the dude didn't want to stop when I asked him to, it gave me the exact same feel. So I don't know how to call this lack of respect, I think, disrespect. Like I I think also like during this ramble, I think that maybe the third dude is less forgivable than the other two. But as for the others, and as for anyone who's watching this video who can think back of intimate moments and realize that you've done this to someone, like you didn't listen to your partner when they asked you to stop or to to not do something or do something later. Like if you can think back and realize that you've acted like this sometimes in your life, please don't do this anymore. It made me feel really uncomfortable, and it took me really long time. Oh, sorry, I'm improvising and I'm not a native speaker. I'm sorry. It took me a long time to admit to myself that I felt uncomfortable because I don't want to ruin in my mind the image that I have of the people I slept with. I feel bad thinking about the fact that I put myself into a situation that I then didn't like. And so yeah, uh, if you can think about your own behavior in the bedroom and you can spot these little accidents, or you realize that you are, I don't know, how can I say, you are not as listening and caring and respectful of your partner even though it's a one night stand, then please don't do this anymore. And whether if you're a man, a woman, um uh, a queer person, I don't know how I'm gonna exactly gonna title this video, but maybe I'm gonna put the word man in it because I've had sexual experiences only with men so far. But I don't want to think this is a straight man problem. And so I'm asking everyone, please listen to your partner in bed. Please don't rush them into doing things, or if they are feeling tired, then give them a break. Like, because it feels really uncomfortable when you're asking for a break and they keep going and you're like, I don't know how to call this anymore. Like, where is my safety gone? Like, where is consent? Where is it? Like, I, I don't know. It feels like violating consent to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm overreacting. But please, if you again, if you have sex with someone and that someone asks you to slow down, to take a break, to do something later, or not do something at all, please respect their decision. Don't come back for more. Like come on, please, like please don't, and please accept their request. It feels really uncomfortable when you don't do it, especially if it's someone that has very little experience. So yeah, this is my rant, my really um how do you say it, on top of my head, like this is just my improvised rant. It went on for almost half an hour. Please shoot me. So yeah, I just hope that my plead will be heard, that my, my cry for help will be listened to. Please, men, women, um, aliens, be respectful. chivalrous even, like like this now made me really into chivalrous man. Like it's like I said, it's a vibe. I need to feel the vibe, the vibe. Yes, I feel safe around you. So like please give off this vibe, people. Please, people, be safe to be around. Yeah, I'm done, and I don't know what else to say. Please comment below. Please tell me if I said something wrong. Please just you know have a good time in the comments and don't harass me. Like I'm always afraid to put out content that is related, is sex related, because I see I've seen some creeps hanging around my channel, and I don't like it. But yeah, this is it. This is the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.